Zap's a king. Zap thing. And the Bitcoin Amigos Friday stream. Energy high, it's like a dream. Music pumps the price higher. Chris, Jordan, Jerry inspire. It's Fat Zap Friday. You might zap less on any other day, but today is Fat Zap Friday. Yeah. Real fat zaps coming in hot, spreading the love, hitting the spot. Yeah. Fat Zap Friday. Yeah. Community loves to show their support. Hype in the chat like it's a sport. Friday stream turned up to 10. Fat lightning strikes again and again. Fat Zap Friday. You might zap less on any other day, but today is Fat Zap Friday. Yeah. Real fat zaps coming in hot, spreading the love, hitting the spot. Yeah. Fat Zap Friday. Yeah. Lightning from your fingertips, like a kiss from orange lips. Zap's a king, it's Zap's a king. It's a zap thing. Yeah. It's Fat Zap Friday. You might zap less on any other day, but today is Fat Zap Friday. Yeah. Real fat zaps coming in hot, spreading the love, hitting the spot. Yeah. Fat Zap Friday. Yeah. Zap's a king. It's a zap thing. Zap's a king. Zap's a king. Zap's a king. It's a zap thing. Zap's a king. It's a zap thing. Zap's a king. Zap's a king. It's a zap thing. Yeah. Zap's king.
Hello out there, we're on the air. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Fat Zap Friday, folks. Speaking of Fat Zap Friday, let's head over to the Zap stream. I topped it up yesterday, so thank you. I don't know who sent in a little. Oh no, somebody sent in a Zap though on to top me up a little bit. So thank you for that. I'm guessing it was Daniel. But I don't know for sure. But it looks like we're live over there on Zap Stream. Looks like things are buzzing. We got Letha with a fat zap to start the show today. Wow. Letha, 4.2 thousand sats. Happy Fat Zap Friday. Thank you, Letha. And Mark is over there as well. Zapped 21 sats. Thank you, Mark. And another one to start the day on. Arnie showed up for work today. A couple here. We got a fat zap of 888 sats. Happy Fat Zap Friday, Jor and Arnie from Timber Crasher. And we got 1,088 sats. Says Arn the Patriot. Keep stacking, homie. Thank you. It's a good way to start the show. Arnie's here today. Looks like he's about to go a little bit cuckoo, but we'll see. Playing with a dirty sock. Guy loves socks. More than anything else. And we got Duncan over in Zap Stream. Zapped 888 sats to start the day. Happy Fat Zap Friday. All right. I think we can proceed. Let's get some light in here. Let's get some light. Oh, already showed up for his zaps and hit the road. I'm sure he'll be back. But if not, the show must go on, right? Killer, good morning. We got Josh in the chat. Morning, Arn and Jor, Ontario in the chat. Grateful to be here. Me too. Cheers. Got our favorite mug here for the Friday as well. Central University of Northern Toronto is where I got this mug. Duncan, both chats today. Love that. Clean your machine. Hello. Happy Friday. Hello, everyone. And Bitcoin Generations. Bodie's in the chat. Top of the morning. Okay, well, let's talk quickly about Bodie, because this is something you're all going to want to check out today. Let me bring it up. This was an awesome interview we did yesterday. I think there were some people from the community here who were watching, but just in case you missed it, just in case you happen to miss it, I want to show it here quickly. Bitcoin Generations YouTube channel. Let me put it in the chat for you so you can go over there right now and subscribe. That's step one. Step two,
I didn't know any of my.
Check out this video here, how small businesses use Bitcoin in 2025. Look at that crew. Bodie, Jor, Mike, Julie. So this was actually, you can see Blue Cotton there. He's got a nice Bitcoin Blue Cotton shirt there. But highly, highly recommend everybody go and check that one out. That was super interesting. They're actually a t-shirt company from Kentucky. And they started buying and mining Bitcoin for their employees as kind of an incentive. So instead of like employee, this is what I said on the show yesterday too. I wish we could have got a little bit more time with them and asked a couple more questions, but they were talking. So it's good. That's what you want when you're interviewing somebody. But I just said, like, the most successful businesses I've seen in the last, I don't know, 10 years through like my accounting work, plus, just being observant, is the companies that are employee owned, where the employees actually have a share in the company. So they're incentivized. They're incentivized to, be productive and work and push things forward. So this is a very good way to do it. And I think this is going to be the way of the future, honestly. Because if you think about these two scenarios where let's go on the assumption that the most successful companies are the ones that employees own a portion of. So you think about that. Somebody joins a company or they offer this new program where employees can own a part of the business. So each employee has like 0.0001% of a share or whatever they get paid in shares every year, some sort of structure. It's very complicated. You need lawyers, you need accountants, you need a lot of people involved with that just to get started. And then when the employee actually goes to leave, you have to sell that share. You have to value the share. There's a lot of capital that goes into just the implementation of the program. Plus, whenever somebody leaves, it's a whole process for how to sell their shares and how to, get out of the program. But it's great. Like, it works very well because everybody's working together. Everybody has a stake in the company that they're working for. So if you replace that with Bitcoin, though, instead, think about how much you save there in terms of like the setup plus the disposal of it. Very, very simple to keep track of and dispose of when the time comes. If the employee leaves or when they retire, they can just get their share of the Bitcoin, 5-minute payment. See ya. Plus, if you're comparing like a share in a company that might grow like, I don't know, 5-10% maybe in a year in terms of its value versus Bitcoin that's performing 60% a year. So this Blue Cotton company in Kentucky, they've implemented this into their business. They got 130 employees. I don't want to spoil it here because I want everybody to watch it. But they got 130 employees, and their turnover before implementing this strategy was 108%, I think, which is quite high. I mean, probably not quite high compared to like other similar industries in terms of like low skill labor jobs, but still 108%. And after implementing Bitcoin a couple of years later, they dropped down to, I think, 30% turnover rate for their employees. So pretty good, pretty interesting. I think that there will be a lot of businesses in the future here who are implementing something very similar to that. So go check that out. That's on Bitcoin Generations. I think there's also a video on my channel as well. But anyways, let's Try to get people over to Bitcoin Generation's YouTube channel. Ian, good morning. Happy Friday. Keep stacking. Bendero. I like that name. What's good? Everything's good today. It's Friday. It is Friday. What's going on in the Zap today? Oh, look at this, Daniel. That's a fat Zap. Wow. Letha says that was a great interview, Bodie. And Duncan says I'll watch it tonight. Yes, it was only an hour long, but super informative and super interesting. What's going on back there? Arnie the troublemaker back at it. See what's he gonna do today? Okay. Anyways, Daniel, back to Daniel. Wow. 8.89. I'm thinking it was 8.888 sats. That's a fat Zap. All right. Thank you, Daniel. Damn. And Spaceman zapped 188 sats. Thank you, Spaceman. Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. And Daniel says, my brother works for an employee-owned company. They have their problems too. That said, using Bitcoin as an incentive to stay with the company is a great idea. Yeah, so that just a second part of that as well is that the employees actually have to stay for 5 years to unlock their share in the Bitcoin that was bought and mined while they were working there. So it's pretty cool. Very cool incentive. Again, I think that there's a lot of companies in the future who are going to be implementing that. So it's kind of cool to be here at the ground floor on that. Craig's in the chat. Good morning, Craig. Craig helped me. I shouldn't say too much here, but Craig helped me set up Tor for the first time today. I'm officially a Tor man. Whatever that is. I got to understand Tor a little bit better. Not that I need to understand it before using it, but I just want to understand it a little bit better. So thank you, Craig. Timber Crasher says, good morning, Bitcoiners. Zap Fatty today and drop a like. Timber Crasher has done that already. He's walking the walk. Zapped 888 sats this morning. Okay, well, let's get going here a little bit. I got some stuff to get through today, and no sense fucking around here, right? Parks9 says, I watched it live. Very interesting stuff. Yes, it was. And Daniel says, good morning, gangsters. And Tom's over there too. Good morning, Tom. All right. Start with the Mempool here, maybe, just to kick things off. Mempool almost ran out of holy. We might see some history today. For the first time in a couple of years, the Mempool might dry up. We might have some empty blocks. I doubt it, but this is the closest we've been for a long time. So you can see here, block height 881651 was mined by Foundry. There's a new miner, Penguin. Looked like it was an ocean pool. Let's see that again. Ocean. Anyways, Foundry got another one. Bastards. 3 in a row. So look at these. The Mempool, this is the big story right now. Typically, oh no, there's quite a few in there. Okay. There's about 10 blocks worth of transactions right now in the Mempool. So last night I looked and there was like, I don't know, 2,000 total in the Mempool. Now that it looks like there's over 10,000. So a little bit better, but still pretty scarce in there. Look at that. The next block's only got 200. I guess the last block just happened, but it only had 898 transactions in it. This one had 169. Look at all these low amounts. Usually these are about, I'd say this would be around the average, about 3,000 transactions per block. And it looks like we're well below right now. So if you do have to consolidate into UTXOs, today would be one heck of a day to do it. Ginger's in the chat. Good morning, Ginger. Jason? Logan? Howdy from Texas. Morning, Logan. I feel like I got an email from a Logan last night. Was that you? Double check here. Yeah, Logan. I saw the email, Logan. I'll get back to you hopefully sometime today. I got a busy day, but should be able to respond to some emails today. Duncan says, meant to be working, but this is more important. Parker's in both chats this morning. Good morning. And Craig, we got a fat zap from Craig. 2.1 thousand sats for Arnie's insurance. We're going to need, I don't know if we need insurance on Arnie or what Arnie's up to right now. Either way, thank you. Thank you, Craig. My man. Charlie says, Jerry was crying on a video about Trump. He said Trump did a bad thing. Okay, let's, how can we get it rid of Charlie here? See ya, bud. Yeah, he's in timeout for a while. Maybe a permanent timeout for old Charlie Dunn. Crypto Princess, good day, Bitcoin family. I love you. Nice. I like that. Spread some love. I can't stay, but have a wonderful live stream. Cheers. Thanks for coming by today and spreading some love. Parks, Zap 21 sats says Arnie's a treat for Arnie. Thank you, Parks. And Sunshine, Zapped 1,000 sats. Zaps are coming in today, folks. It's good to see. Zap stream is definitely pulling the weight today. So YouTube, if you want to catch up a little bit, you can use that guy. Scan it. Scan it and see what happens. It's a trick. Or if you don't like scanning things, you can also send it there. If you like typing, if you're a good typer, you can get that one. Adopted Son 98. Logan says, sounds like some commie gobbledygook to me. David, 8 million sats. What's that mean? What is 8 million sats saying? Imagine getting an 8 million sat zap. That'd be something. All right. Knox Bill is in the chat. Good morning, Bill. Rick. Zane. Oh my God, everybody's here today. What a show we got going today. Joe Poutine even. Sat stacking Friday, boys and girls. It is Friday buy day today, which means Friday in the gym, you work out the biceps, and Friday with the Bitcoin, you smash buy today. It's Friday buy day, all the way around. Buck 52, good morning. Laugh Pad is in the chat. Good morning. Yes, mempool fees are low. And look at this. We got My Path to Fire with a fat zap of his own. 888 sats today. Love that. Thank you. Let's make sure that Noster knows that we're live here quickly. It's a lot easier now that Zapstream's sharing these on my behalf. Okay, let's do this. We are live. There we go. All right. Welcome, Noster. Laughpad says, I love running Tor browser for random shit just to add data in the system to help everyone be anonymous. I love that. I love that. Okay. Odell's going to lose his bet about the mempools. Yeah, it's not clear yet, but it's looking that way. Laughpad says, as well as a Tor snowflake on Umbrel to add noise. This is all new to me. I'm new to the Tor world. Jason says, Block Rewards is a Canadian company that helps businesses compensate staff in Bitcoin. You should chat up Scott. Block Rewards. Okay. Never even heard of that before. Block Rewards. Oh, yes. American Desperado. Good morning, Jor. More love. Thank you. That's what we want. Charlie went against your Lord and Savior Trump. Okay, Alien James. See ya, buddy. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for wasting so much time in here. Man, life's short and you're just hanging around in chats. Lock Sky, morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday today. Same to you. And we got Bill and we got Santino. What a lovely chat today we got going. Wow. Well, we better have a good show, I guess. That's all we can do now. We got everybody in the chat. We got the bozos muted in timeouts, sitting in the corner like the little bitches that they are. Might as well proceed. And Bodie, look at this. We got a fat zap of 2.1 thousand sats. Thanks for the support for Bitcoin Generations. Enjoyed the uh-oh moment when I asked Mike yesterday about his Noster presence. Yeah, that's oh my God. I don't know what's going on here. I'm honestly fucking tired of it though. I'm gonna ban these users. That's it. They've seen enough here. We've seen enough of them. T Jacobson, good morning, my friend. And I want to give a shout out to T Jacobson because I didn't have this phone going yesterday, but T Jacobson sent in a 5,000 sat zap yesterday. I think we acknowledged it on the show, but I just wanted to double check. So thank you, T Jacobson. All right, let's get to some news today. See what's going on in the world. We got lots of news. Oh, killer. Man, we got a record attendance happening in Zapstream right now. This is fucking awesome. 42 people. We got 50 people on YouTube and 42 people in Zapstream. I wonder if more people can we overtake? That's the thing. If we got 10 people to jump over from YouTube to the Noster chat, we would overtake. Should we? That's the question. All right, let's get to a little bit of news here. I got 5 things to talk about. Let's start with... Yeah, I'll start with this. This is funny. This is Trump. This is Trump yesterday giving a nod to the 88 Sats channel. Okay, Alien Johnson banned forever. Bye-bye. I just don't get it. I think it's AI, but at the same time, it's still really annoying. Okay, this is Trump yesterday giving a nod to the 88 Sats channel in his own way. And it looks like we got people jumping over from YouTube to Noster chat. So let's keep her rolling here. Ready?
On day one, I immediately halted the hiring of any new IRS agents. You know, they hired or tried to hire 88,000 new workers to go after you. And we're in the process of developing a plan to either terminate all of them or maybe we'll move them to the border. I think we're going to move them to the border. On day one, I immediately halted the...
Almost ended the stream there. That would have been bad. Tried to end the video, but almost ended the stream. So that was a nod to the 88 Sats radio channel because there's actually 87,000 IRS agents that they tried to hire. So he said 2 things there. Number one, 88,000. I don't know why he said that. I'm just joking around here a little bit, but it was 87,000 that they were talking about. That was the number for a couple of years that they were looking to hire at the IRS. But then he said, oh, they tried to hire. I don't think that they had 87,000 job openings. And if you actually went to the website when they were open, there wasn't a whole lot of people biting on those. And I think that just goes to show kind of where we are right now. The government can try as hard as they want. We're at a stage right now where the government can try as hard as they want to. And there's nothing that they can do at this point. Nothing. Like they tried, they couldn't, I don't even know how many they hired, but it was a very insignificant amount of people who actually wanted to go and work for the IRS. So as the dollar continues to just like evaporate into nothing here, all these government positions and all these people who are working for the fiat dollar, and they're getting like a 3% wage increase every year. and they're, getting slaughtered because real inflation's like 12 to 15%, it's just going to end. Then what? What happens when the government can't pay their employees anymore because their dollar's worth nothing? What happens? Well, that's where we are right now. We're about to find out what happens. So another nod there from Trump saying that, the IRS is going to be shrinking quite a bit or completely. Tommy D, good morning. Good morning, my friend. We got Bandero asking, on iOS, which is your favorite app for getting onto Noster? These are both great suggestions here, Letha. The one thing I would add, and I'll put in the chat here for you, is actually called Noster. Noster. And the reason I like Noster is because you can actually watch, like if you had Noster on your, I hate saying that, it sounds stupid. It's a dumb name. Noster. But if you had that one on your iPhone, you could actually be watching the Zap stream right now. I think for Android, you can watch it on Amethyst, and for iOS, you can watch it on Noster. So Primal Domus, Noster, that's what I would start with for iOS. Adriel, morning. It's time to stack fat today. I like it. All right, Pawn Dev's over in the Zap stream. We got James over there as well. Morning, James. And Spaceman says, wow, holy crap, Zap stream numbers. And zapped 121 sats. Love that. Thank you, my friend. Daniel says, so much winning, make the winning stop. And Pawn Dev says, watching on Amethyst. Okay, this guy's earned he's getting banned on every account that he's got there. So far, we've banned Charlie Dunn, Alien James, Apu Johnson, Larry Nix, and Tony Goalani have all officially been banned from the 88 Sats radio channel. Congratulations, you're the first to ever be banned. And you're all the same person. I'm sure we'll have David Dooley show up here right away as well. Good evening from Nick. It is early in the morning here. But good evening to you, my friend. All right, next. What's next on the list here? This one looks like it's coming from Bitcoin News. What's this going to be? How's my coffee cold already? Not cold, but not warm. All right, huge news for MicroStrategy here, folks. Huge news. With the new FASB rules, Tesla yesterday marked up its Bitcoin holdings, booking a $600 million gain, pushing their shares up 4.2% after hours and adding nearly $50 billion in their market cap. Just think what happens when MicroStrategy with 485x more Bitcoin follows suit with the new FASB rules. Oh. There was another tweet actually that I saw this morning. And I don't know if I'll bring it up here or not, but it basically said that the preferred share offering that MicroStrategy just did for the first time, preferred shares, was oversubscribed by 3x. So you got Tesla, you're showing exactly what's going to happen, basically telling the future of what's going to happen here with MicroStrategy very soon. As soon as MicroStrategy comes out with their earnings report, I'm guessing they're going to book that gain as fast as they can. It seemed to me like Saylor has been hitting his ATM, as they call it, basically issuing shares to the market, selling those shares for Bitcoin. He's been doing that. He's been maxing that out. And that's pretty much been driving the price of MicroStrategy down and down and down. But I think what's coming here, he knew what was coming because of the new FASB rules. Because when MicroStrategy books their gain on Bitcoin, Tesla's was 600 million. And they have like 10,000 Bitcoin, I think. 600 million. And the reason why that happened is because before these changes to the FASB rules, basically how a company like Tesla would have to value their Bitcoin was, let's say that they bought it at $50,000 for Bitcoin, per Bitcoin, 50,000. And all of a sudden it kept going up to 60. They can't do anything though. They got to keep it at 50. Went up to 70. Can't do anything. It's got to stay at 50. But then it drops. It drops from 70 down to 15. Well, they got to book that their new balance of Bitcoin is at 15,000. And then it goes up to 100,000. Guess what? It's still on their books at 15,000. So think about that. That's Tesla. So they booked a $600 million gain on their Bitcoin. Their share price went up 4.2. I don't know what it's at today, but 50 billion in their market cap. And MicroStrategy has 45x that amount that they had. So it won't be like 45 times that, because their cost basis would be different throughout versus their new updated amounts. But it's going to be like, I don't even know what number it'll be for their gain. It's got to be in the, if theirs was 600 million, it's got to be in the tens of billions that they're going to book a gain on Bitcoin. Plus, their ATMs are pretty much done, which means I've been kind of back and forth on MicroStrategy. Not that I've like sold mine or thought about selling mine at all. Just I'm thinking about long-term stuff here with MicroStrategy. But if there was ever a day where I would suggest people get some MicroStrategy, it'd be today. Or tomorrow or Monday, whenever the market opens up again. And just hold on to it for 4 years and see what happens. Don't try to get cute. Just get a couple shares. If you don't have any MicroStrategy, just get a couple shares and see what happens. Hold them for 4 years. All right, what's next here on the docket? Duncan says, what's your thought on Tether using the Lightning Network? Massive. Absolutely massive. Tether's a private company too. There's probably going to be some funny business there, we'll say. Funny business going on with Tether, especially when it's on Lightning. But it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So we'll see. See how it plays out. It was me, 007. Oh, we got a couple 007s here now in the chat. Mr. Bond. You got some competition, my friend. Yeah, it's honest work. Tony, Larry, Alien, Apu. Honest work. Buck 52,000 says 600 and S&P incoming for MicroStrategy. Probably not wrong. I would be surprised. I shouldn't say that, but I would be surprised if it didn't. If we don't see another stock split in 2025, I would be surprised. And the MicroStrategy earnings are going to be February 5th. Wow, that's in what, next Wednesday? Next Wednesday. Bowser Stacks. Bowser Stacks, good morning. Good to see you. Diamonds and coffee. I thought I heard Arnie. Where's that guy? All right. What else we got here over on Zapstream? Craig says, does that mean that MicroStrategy's quarterly profit is going to be 600, which is 600 million that Tesla booked, times 45 equals $27 billion gain? I mean, it won't be exactly that because, again, they would have different cost bases and they'd have different amount that they're, well, would they though? Yeah, they would. MicroStrategy would probably be higher because they've been buying higher. So their cost base would be higher than Tesla's. So I don't think it'll be 27 billion, but I'm guessing it'll be like 15 to 20 billion. Pondev says, any thoughts on El Salvador? Is Bukele backing out or just playing the IMF game for more fiat loans? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how that plays out. So what happened there was basically the IMF was all pissy at El Salvador. They were worried about Bitcoin, as they should be. And they basically said, we're going to cut off your funding unless you apply or you change your laws on Bitcoin. So I think what they had to do was actually, there was a couple different things that they had to do as part of their requirements to get their loan. But I'm pretty sure one of them was Bitcoin can't be legal tender anymore, which honestly sucks. Like, as you know, as much as Bitcoiners are kind of downplaying this whole thing, that sucks. It would have sucked even more if Trump wasn't doing what he's doing with the IRS and capital gains and income taxes and shit. It would have been much worse, but it's still not great. Because again, the thing that I held on to there with El Salvador was because it was legal tender in one other country. I didn't think that anybody should ever have to pay capital gains on it because it's a currency. It's a currency in El Salvador. If I went across the border to the US and I took a whole bunch of money over there for the weekend and I came back and Trump announced that there was a 25% tariff increase and all of a sudden the Canadian dollar dropped, I'm not booking a gain on that. That's just currency. Both legal tenders, currencies. So honestly, I think that Bitcoiners in general have a hard time with bad news like this. And I would say that it is bad news for El Salvador. Again, people are going to say, well, maybe they just took the loan and bought Bitcoin. Who cares? They still bent the knee to the IMF. So to me, not great news, not a good look. But we'll see. Daniel says Bukele's playing 3D chess. I don't know. I also want to give him the benefit of the doubt here, but that if you just objectively look at that move by them, that's a bad move. Tell the IMF to kick rocks. I don't know. We'll see. Bodhi says they were saying 87,000 IRS agents for effect first, then would make up DEI positions whenever they want. Oh, Brandon says, okay, so I was pretty much bang on. I said between 15 and 20 billion. Yep. Oh, it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. A lot of financial advisors out there are going to be caught by surprise. And clients will yell. Clients will be banging down the doors of the financial advisor saying, why the hell didn't you tell me about MicroStrategy? Why didn't you tell me about Bitcoin? What the fuck have you been doing? And I think that's just a good lesson. I think it's just a good lesson in life, honestly. Is that I think that people should be more, how can I say this? What's the phrase I'm looking for? So if you think about that situation where MicroStrategy is about to book an $80 or $18 billion gain on their company because of Bitcoin. And when that happens, it's probably going to, the price will probably shoot up. It would have to. Because if we look at Tesla, they booked a $600 million gain from Bitcoin and their share price jumped up 5% overnight. So you think regardless of, you can't really say that it's going to jump up 50% or something stupid like that, but it will jump up. And I think in a noticeable way. And you are going to have people reaching out to their financial advisors saying, what the hell have you been doing here? MicroStrategy here, this was a very obvious thing for anybody who's paying attention, what's happening. Bitcoin, a very obvious thing for anybody who's paying attention. So why the fuck were you not paying attention? There's going to be a lot of this over the next couple of years. There's going to be a lot of very unhappy clients at financial advisory firms around MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. And I think it's just a good lesson in general for everybody out there right now. And if you think about it like this, what's the term that I'm looking for is lifelong learners, essentially. So my theory on this is you should always try to align yourself with learners, whether that's friends, business partners, financial advisors, anybody. You should always be looking for people who learn, want to learn, actively learning every single day. Because if you think about most financial advisors out there over the age of like 55, 60, they've pretty much mailed it in, right? And I don't want to say everybody, because I've actually talked to some really, but that's exactly my point here, is the people I've talked to, they're learners. They understand what's kind of happening with Bitcoin. At least it caught their attention, and they're actively trying to learn more about it. Those are learners. And I've talked to a few of them. I work with a couple of them. But on the flip side, there's a lot of people who are 55, 60 in this financial advisory role. They've had clients for 30 years. They've just been taking fees every year from their funds. Probably, even if they're performing well, they're at a stage now where they're done learning. They spend their days talking on their phone with their clients. They've switched from being learners to good talkers, essentially. And so I think it's just a really good lesson for us and for everybody out there, is you should always try to align yourself with lifelong learners, because they're always looking to grow. They're growing. And you want to surround yourself with people who are growing. And so if you compare that to somebody who's just, mailed it in for the next 5-10 years, they know they're good. Like, there's not a whole lot that can harm them at this point. And maybe some of them do a little bit of learning, but for the most part, they just spend their days talking to clients. And every time that they rebalance funds, they just take a little bit off of there. So try to, in life, align yourself with the people who are learners. I think that you'll get much further ahead. And that's just one example with the financial advisors, but it's pretty much applicable to all aspects. All right, we got a couple new. Look at this. We got LaughPad says, "Ayo, I'm finally on Zap stream." Welcome, my friend. I thought there were some people that moved over from YouTube. Craig says, broke down and bought a pro account at Perplexity. I wrote a legal brief for a company and now has DeepSeek R1. Read the privacy agreement and seems okay. What's the cost of pro on that, Craig, for Perplexity? Man, it's incredible what AI can do. I think there's a lot of people out there sleeping on AI right now. Going to bed every night and not knowing that AI is going to replace their job in a couple of years. It's kind of crazy. Speaking of lying in bed and maybe going along the lines of good life lessons here. What was I thinking about there? Oh, Craig says $20 per month, first month free. Interesting. Might give that a spin. Just have too many. Oh, hold on. Wow, we got a couple fad zaps here that I missed. Sorry. We got 6,088 sats here for Fat Zap Friday from Ian. Thank you, Ian. And we got 1,000 sats as well to Arnie's wallet from anonymous person. So thank you for that. Both to this wallet here. I swear, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, we usually get zaps. There's usually the people in here every day who are sending their contributions to the show, which I very much appreciate. But I think that we usually get more zaps on Friday than all the other 4 days combined. But that's part of it. That's part of it. So I very much appreciate it. And we got a couple more. We got LaughPad zapped 1,000 sats. Wow. First time on zaps. And he's zapping 1,000 sats. Thank you, LaughPad. And it's also Pawn Dev's first time on Zap stream. Hell yeah. My Path to Fire says, all these money managers missing the best performing assets is an embarrassment. 100%, like Vanguard. It's crazy. And Daniel says, I know a financial advisor who's pretty knowledgeable about Bitcoin, but he won't recommend it to his clients. Crazy. And Spaceman zapped 420 sats saying, welcome to all the new faces today. Fucking rights. And we got a YouTube zap. Our favorite color here, orange. Any super chat over $20 gets an orange badge. So thank you, Santino. Our favorite color. And very generous there. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about here. This was I wasn't sure. I was kind of thinking about sharing this today. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to or not. But whatever, we're here. We might as well talk about it. So last night I was laying in bed, and I talk about this a lot, laying in bed, thinking about things. And usually I fall asleep pretty fast. But last night I was laying in bed, and for some reason I just had so many like negative, like very negative thoughts. Not of like anything crazy, you know, not like that, but just a lot of dark thoughts. I couldn't figure it out. I just kept, every time I would think of something, it would spiral into something else, and then spiral into something even worse than that. And I was just like, what the hell's going on here? Because it happens once in a while. I think everybody who's human has gone through things like that. And it could just be like the weather here. I have no idea what it is. It could be the energy of the world. I don't know. No idea. So I was laying there and I couldn't really fight it. I couldn't fall asleep. And I was just like going in circles of like all negative shit. It just kept spiraling, more and more negative shit in my head. And you know, when you're in that state of mind, it's really hard to crawl your way out of it, or you know, find a way out of that, or fall asleep, or whatever you need to do. So what I did, and you know, I've talked about this before on the show. I think that this is pretty much the cure to everything. And you know, when you're in that state of mind, though, you don't really think about a way to cure it. You're just like spiraling into this thing and then that thing, and then, you know, again, I'm sure everybody can relate to this. And if you don't, then you're lucky. So what I did was I switched all my feelings to gratitude. Everything I could do, everything I could think of that I was thankful for and grateful for, and starting at a very basic level, in the sense that I was in a house, I was in a warm bed, I had a pillow underneath my head. And I think that if you can, you know, if you think about the people out there who do not have that, it's a very easy place to start in terms of your gratitude. Of like, just, you know, thank you that I have a pillow here. Thank you that I have a roof over my head. Thank you for the food in this fridge today and the food in my belly today. So I just think that whether it's like anxiety, or I don't even know what that would it be, like a depression? I don't know what that is. I really don't. Probably more so anxiety than anything. Stress causes that kind of stuff. So whenever you're in that kind of state of mind, I know it's very hard to like, you know, talk yourself out of it or escape that. But if you just switch it to being great, if you switch it to gratitude, and that's for fear, that's for stress, that's for anxiety. If you just focus as hard as you can on gratitude, and it's not easy, it's not something you can just flip on and off. You have to really work at it. And so finally I was able to fall asleep shortly after I kind of switched my mind there. But I just thought I'd share that because it's you know, there's a lot of people that go through that. And the best cure I've found for that, that's like something you can do quickly, is just try to switch your focus to gratitude, because you can't really go wrong when you're thinking about what you're thankful for, when you're thinking about positive things in your life. It doesn't like fully stop the other side of things, but it kind of counteracts it a bit. And then you can kind of proceed from there. So I just want to share that. I don't know if it's helpful to anybody or not, but anyways, that's what I kind of what happened. So sorry, I just don't want to miss any comments here. Dingo Booty says, I fired my money guy a couple years back and bought Bitcoin. That a boy or girl, but as we know, that's it. Do your own research. Don't ever trust the experts, and skate to where the puck is going, not where it has been. Truth. Dylan says, I told a group of buddies before the halving, we all graduated from business school together, about taking out some leverage to buy Bitcoin. And they said it was the stupidest thing they've ever heard. Yeah, I feel you, my friend. I feel you. I kind of went through the same stuff. There's a couple people in my life that it's crazy. I have this one guy who texts me every time like there's a big drop. I don't hear from him until the price of Bitcoin drops. And he's actually a financial advisor himself. He might even be watching the show today. I doubt it, but he might be. But he texts me every time the price of Bitcoin drops, like significantly. And he'll send me all these articles all of a sudden about all the, you know, what caused it. And it's just like at some point, I just run out of energy to try to respond to them. It's like, you know what? If you want to miss this, go ahead. If you want your clients to miss out on this, go ahead. I'm done trying to convince you that this is real. It's the best asset that's ever existed. It makes sense that you don't understand it because it's completely backwards and upside down from the world that we know. So, you know, stick with the U.S. equity fund. See how that does for you. All the time. Yeah, it's I think we're talking about the negative stuff there. It's tough. It's a tough cycle to break out of for sure. But I mean, again, for me, I think it's just like some stress in my life. I think it's the weather. It's January 31st. It does not get any like more depressing than this week in Canada. So I'm sure that's all it is. I'm not worried about it. It's shitty when you're kind of in that state of mind. Yeah, they're definitely too embarrassed. Nobody will ever admit they were wrong. Nobody will say sorry. Nobody would say thanks if they bought Bitcoin because of you. So just don't worry about it. Don't change your own expectations. Change your expectations and then you'll never be let down. No money in it for them. Yes, that's a big part of it for sure. Financial advisors, people start pulling out to buy Bitcoin. Well, sorry. You know, those fees I've been paying you for the last 25 years? Well, sorry, they're done. The best part is, though, they're not going to have the choice. And the more they resist, the worse of an outcome it's going to be for them. And big props, honestly. I've been shitting on financial advisors here quite a bit this show, but big props to the advisors who are actually being proactive with this. And not only being proactive, but actually, if there's a financial advisor out there who's actively trying to understand Bitcoin, I know that they're only doing that for their clients. That's it. And probably their reputation as well, some degree of that. But the ones who really care about their clients, they're the ones who are trying to learn about Bitcoin. And even if they don't end up, you know, even if they look into Bitcoin and they spend some time researching it, figuring out what it is, and they decide, you know what, my clients' funds are actually better here. They're more, you know, secure here, or, you know, whatever. That's fine. But at least you took the initiative to try to figure it out instead of just hoping this thing goes away. Logan says, count your blessings, name them one by one. Yes, that's great. Great advice. Oh, what do we got here? That's a fat zap. That ties the biggest zap of the day. Zippity zap from Jason, 8,888 sats. This might be a record day today for the zaps, for people and for zap amount. Okay, sorry, I'm having a hard time keeping up here. Craig says Trump fires the 80K new IRS agents, wants to send them to the border. Yeah, we watched the clip of Trump here to start the show today. Grindr zapped 121 sats. Hey Siri, call 911. And LaughPad, 888 sats. Thanks for talking about the struggle of life. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody goes through it. And I think not only when you talk about it and people know that you're not the only person who goes through that stuff, I think that helps. But what I was trying to kind of share here is like, no matter what you're going through, this is from my own experience anyways. And I know that people experience things differently than I do. But yeah, anytime you shift your focus as hard as you can on gratitude, and just, again, start at a very basic level, the easy ones, like, you know, food in the fridge, Arnie, a pillow to sleep on, heat in this house, the ability to pay for that stuff. Then everything else is just kind of like an illusion in your head. You're looking at real things that you're grateful for. And real usually outcompetes illusion. Because that's what it is. When you're in that state of mind, everything running through your head is a complete fucking illusion. It's completely made up. And it just, yeah, I don't know. We don't need to get too far into it here, but it's kind of crazy. Mark says, I have some repair I need to do on an apartment I'm renting out. I need some funds. Should I sell a bit of Bitcoin or take a small loan at 3 to 4%? I think a loan makes more sense at this time. 1,000,000%. If you can get a loan for 3 or 4% interest, even if you don't need to buy anything, I would take that and buy some Bitcoin with it. Like you said, at this time, like probably over these next couple months, oh man, I forgot to do that today, but I was going to show a chart. I wonder if I could do that quickly here. I wanted to show a chart here of the differences of price. Hold on, let me see if I can do this quickly. If not, I'll do it not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Where is this here? Where's my chart? Yeah, we could do this right now. Okay, let me copy and paste these. Let's take. Let's see if this works. I want to prove a point here, and this is actually why I titled the show what I did today, because I think people just really have to understand where we are right now. Hold on. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. All right. So if we go, what could I do here? Take a sip of coffee. That always makes the most sense. Okay, I don't really need dates here, I don't think. Dates are not as relevant. We're going to use this. So let's see. You guys can actually watch my spreadsheet work live here. Let's bring this up. So what I wanted to show here today was the show's called Make Hay While the Sun Shines. And what I want to get across with this very brief spreadsheet I'm going to show is the difference in the price at 100,000 versus, let's say, $1 million. And I really don't think we're too far away from $1 million. It could be a couple months, it could be a couple years, but either way, I just want to add some urgency here to everybody who's trying to get as much Bitcoin as they can right now. I want to add some urgency into that. Because again, everybody kind of cheers for the price to go up because they want their net worth to go up. Everybody cheers for like a strategic Bitcoin reserve by the US. And I think we need to be careful for what we're cheering on here and the implications of it for us and others who are at kind of our social level, but also for I just want to show you, because when people think about the price, I'll just show you here. It's probably easier that way. So let's say that somebody had, I don't want to say like somebody has an investment to make here. I want to make this more like everyday life. So let's say you go to work, you do a job for somebody and you get $500. So we're going to use 500 as kind of the benchmark here. This is something that, whether it's a day of work that you do a big job for somebody, or whether it's a week where $500 is kind of your after tax, after expenses take home, which I think would be pretty high for a lot of people. But anyways, let's look at $500 that you got. And let's say the price of Bitcoin is 105,000. Oh, we're not even up here. All right. So let's say that the price of Bitcoin is 105 today. So that's what you get here. That's what you get. Let me just make sure that this is still working. Yes. Okay. So this is, you got $500. You go to, again, you either do a job for somebody, you get paid $500. You want to convert that into Bitcoin, or you work for the week, you pay your expenses, you pay your taxes, everything, and you got $500 left over. You want to buy some Bitcoin. So that's essentially your time and energy here that you're wanting to store it in a better battery, which is Bitcoin. This is kind of the implications of the price running up here. So at $105,000 Bitcoin, you get 476,000 sats. When the price jumps up to 150,000, that same work that you did, exact same work you did, now only gets you 330,000 sats. Price jumps up to 250,000. That exact same work, same effort, same everything, now gets you 200,000 sats. Bitcoin jumps up again to 500,000. We're on a bull run here. That exact same work week or job that you did for somebody that once made you 476,000 sats now gets you only 100,000 sats. What about 1 million? All of a sudden, nothing crazy either. Just the normal Bitcoin cycle, normal Bitcoin bull run. We hit $1 million Bitcoin. That exact same work that you did now gets you 50,000 sats. And just for shits and gigs, let's say a couple of years from now, you're doing the same job, same work. You get your $500 paycheck. But this time the price of Bitcoin is now 10 million. You get 5,000 sats for that. So what I'm trying to tell people here, and that's the reason I titled the show here, Make Hay While the Sun is Shining. Because we're all kind of cheering for the price to go up here. But I want people to really understand the implications of this, that this is going to have on us and the average person. And I'm not saying that anybody has, like, I'm not using the example of somebody has $10,000 to invest in something. I'm using the example of you go to work, whatever you take home from that job that you're doing or the contract work that you're doing, you're just going to keep getting less and less sats in a significant way. Like, look at this. I mean, 10 million is a little bit, that might be in the next cycle. So let's get that one out of here for now. Let's keep this simple. But maybe let's do 2 million. Because I do think that a normal Bitcoin cycle this time around will get to $2 million Bitcoin. So over these next couple of years, this is just what's, could happen. I'm not saying this will, but it could, very, very well could happen. So again, your average, whatever you're doing for work right now to earn money, whatever value you're adding to the world right now, that you do a job that's going to get you 476,000 sats today. And at the end of this cycle, if Bitcoin does what we kind of expected to this cycle, that exact same energy and effort is going to get you 25,000 sats. So I'm not going to tell you like to not cheer on the price of Bitcoin. I'm just telling you, like, do as much as you can here over these next couple of years. Like, really commit to this, because when this thing starts running away, that's it. That's why I said once the strategic Bitcoin reserve is announced, I want everybody to take a screenshot of your Bitcoin balance, because it is not going to change much after that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's $500 too. That's a very, like, that's your average person that they're buying. And they're going to go from getting 476,000 sats for that energy and effort to 25,000 sats for the exact same job. It's just that Bitcoin is now much more expensive. You can get way less Bitcoin for it. So do as much as you can here. Do as much as you possibly can, because if you go to work today and you convert that into Bitcoin, you're going to get paid much more than going to the exact same job in a year from now, in real terms. And that's what I want people to focus on here, is the real terms and how things are being measured right now. So take advantage of this time in history, for one, and just work your ass off for the next little while. Because when this thing starts running and when this strategic reserve is announced, it's over. Any ability that you had to make a real dent in Bitcoin is over. So that's live spreadsheets there. Live spreadsheet made, live spreadsheet presented. All right, what do we got here? So that's what I'm saying. Same kind of thing. Because if you sell that Bitcoin today, there's a very low chance you're going to get it back. Selling the Wind says, my wife has 2 prosthetic legs and can't use her hands. Every morning I have a reality check on how good I have it. Jory, you said it so well. Thankfulness helps. Cheers, my friend. Absolutely does. Bowser Stack says, gratitude is so key. Humbles us and helps get perspective. Great tip. Just try it sometimes. And again, I know it's hard to, when you're in that state of mind, it's hard to really get out of it and switch your focus to something else. But that's why we talk about these things, because then when it happens, you're a little bit more equipped for it, I would say. Fiat people don't understand volatility. Yeah, very true. Hey, BitBilly. Good morning, BitBilly. Don't sell the Bitcoin, Mark. Sell the damn rental and buy more. Great advice. Great advice from BitBilly. The unknown disciple says Bitcoin doomers will never come around. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, but yeah, we got some work to do for sure. Seasonal depression is real. So that's what it is for sure. For sure. I mean, I know there's not a lot of people that can relate to that, but try spending 6 months in a freezer with cold temps and not a lot of sunshine. Yeah, this was what I was wondering too. Santino says, where are you getting a loan these days for 3 or 4%? Asking for a friend who wants to buy more Bitcoin. I haven't seen that for a while. 3 or 4% interest rates. I think the loan that I got was like 8%, which I still took because, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that paying 8% is worse than getting 60%. So why would I, you know, even if I have to pay 8%, but I'm making 60%, that seems like kind of a no-brainer to me. 60% on average too. So if you got a long enough time frame, it'll probably outperform that. Or if you time it right, I mean. Definitely see $1 million by the end of Trump's reign. I agree. I would be very surprised if we didn't see $1 million Bitcoin, even by the end of this year. There's just too much demand, not enough supply. Loan it up, pay per month. Santino says, my pay raise sucked this year. No excuses though. Side hustle if you need to. 2 days ago, I switched home and auto insurance, saved $1,650. It's over 1 million sats. Fucking rights. That's the shit we like, my friend. All right. What else we got on Zap stream here going on? Okay. What do we have here? Pawn Dev says, I'm studying and trying to earn more money. In my current fiat situation, I can't keep stacking hard. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. That's the thing you got to think about too. If you're somebody out there who's like, you know, just like stuck in the fiat, you get to a point within Bitcoin, and I went through this, and this happened pretty quick for me actually. But you get to a point in Bitcoin where you're like, okay, well, what am I? You're going to your work, you're going to job every day, and you're like, okay, well, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I don't like this job. I'm getting paid in a currency that they can print more of and devalue it. What am I doing? And when you get to that point, there's no turning around. There's no turning back. It's a tough reality to get into. It is. Tough spot. And I jumped the gun a little bit probably. And that's my regret. I wouldn't say I regret it. But the one thing that I regret about that is that if I just would have, and again, there was other factors here at play. This wasn't just me being excited about Bitcoin and wanting to, you know, start a YouTube channel, because it took me like 3 years to do it. So that wasn't it. There was other factors involved. I was tired of being in the city. I was having to work from home because of a medical decision I made, a personal medical decision that I made. And I just didn't like it. I was just tired of it. I felt like a prisoner. But if I just would have kept working there, like when you quit working, the paycheck stops, obviously. But when you say it, it's much differently when you live through it. Because all of a sudden that, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 every 2 weeks, you pay your bills, and usually you got like a nice amount after that I was buying Bitcoin with, obviously. And all of a sudden that stops. And not only are you not able to buy Bitcoin, but you're not able to pay a lot of your bills. So luckily I had Bitcoin as kind of my insurance policy there, which helped. I had to sell a little bit of Bitcoin. But that's the one thing, that's the point I'm trying to make, is like, don't rush out of it, especially right now. Because that extra money that you're making, even if it is fiat, even if it's a money that they can print, you're still getting it, and you can still convert that into Bitcoin today. So just don't like jump into it. That's kind of what I'm trying to say, because especially when you jump into it, your Bitcoin's pretty much done for a while. And again, if you understand where we are right now, you don't want to be done buying Bitcoin right now, because this is kind of our last chance, in my opinion, to put a real dent in our Bitcoin stack. So just stick it out, even if you have to wait like 6 months, a year, but you're going to have a lot more Bitcoin after that. In the meantime, though, as Pondev says here, they're studying and trying to earn more money. And just like the comment here in YouTube about a side hustle, start building up in the background. Start building it up in the background while you're still at your job. Start working in the morning. Start working at night. Get a side hustle. Start driving. What does Jerry drive? Not Uber. Is it Uber? No. What's this thing called? DoorDash. DoorDash. Get a job door dashing more sats at night instead of watching fucking Netflix. Owen says, just orange pilled my ex-wife. Wow. Santino says, marry her again. Somebody asked me about that the other day. They said, how important is it that your wife is orange pilled? I said it's critical. Critical. Okay, we got a couple things to catch up on here. What are we doing for time? 9:29. All right, we got some time left. We got some time. I got a couple more things I want to get through here, and then we're going to wrap up the show. But before we do that, let's check on Zap stream. Noddle and Hodl. Zap 420 sats. Fucking rights. Thank you. That is awesome. And if you don't like F words, fuck off. Somebody left a comment on a video the other day saying, you're swearing. Swearing. Come on. Hey, look at this. Wow. I didn't know that this was, I accidentally clicked this, but look at this. I was just going to give away some free sats here, but I guess this is live now. I guess I have my own page, Bitcoin Well. Join Jor on Bitcoin Well. Start your journey to financial independence with Jor's exclusive offer. It's pretty cool. Nice little photo there. The reasons for joining Bitcoin Well: automatic self-custody, 1.2% spread, lowest fees around, Lightning payments enabled. You can take Lightning withdrawals, additional awards, and free swaps, which is my favorite part there. Oh, look at that nice thumbnail. Got a little video there. I self-custody because I want my family to have access to it in 100 years. And unlike traditional banks or institutions that may come and go, I know my private keys will endure as long as I protect them properly. How do you like that? So that's what you see now, I guess, when you go to bitcoinwell.com/Jor. But let's give away some Bitcoin here quickly from the Bitcoin Well. We've had quite a few people signing up here, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who sign up without my link, but that's okay. But even with my link, there's been a ton of people signing up for Bitcoin Well lately, which is awesome. So if you are a new Bitcoin Well user and you're watching the show right now, maybe just leave a little comment in the chat on what your experiences were like, and if you're still using it. Okay, we ready for some free Bitcoin? It's funny, every time I say free Bitcoin, I see the numbers in the chat drop. I don't know if it's people like closing out the app to get their Lightning wallet open, but usually drops by like 10 every time I do this. So get your phones out, get a Lightning wallet open, press send so you can scan a QR code, and somebody's going to win some sats here. Ready? Set? Go. $210 sats. Not the best. Not the best by any stretch of the imagination, but also 210 sats. I'll take that any day of my life. Somebody says, here's 210 sats. Yeah, for sure. Taking that. Even if it's 2 sats. I'm taking that every time. All right, let's get our shit together here to close out the show. A record show. Somebody took up my offer and just sent in 1 sat. I'm not mad about it. I love it. Thank you. All right, I changed my, whoa, sorry about that. Changed my setup in here a little bit lately. And so now I don't have enough outlets over here. Okay, so that is Bitcoin Well. Once again, I know there's a lot of people here who have been joining and hopefully enjoying. But you can use that link there, bitcoinwell.com/Jor. And again, I've kind of been talking about my buying process now on Bitcoin Well in terms of Lightning withdrawals and letting my balance build up in a Lightning wallet and then sending it to cold storage from there instead of having a bunch of small UTXOs. If you use Lightning instead, you can let the balance build up and then send it to your cold storage. Very hard lesson that I learned early in my Bitcoin journey here is that you shouldn't be sending Bitcoin from an exchange to your wallet every week. Unless you're buying like $1,000 worth of Bitcoin every week, you should be using Lightning. So with that, you basically buy Bitcoin with Bitcoin Well, you send it to your Lightning wallet. And from there, you can either move it to your Aqua wallet to swap onto on-chain once your balance is high enough, or you can use Bitcoin Well's free swap feature. Free swaps. And I think this is only available in Canada right now, but I'm guessing it's going to be coming soon to the US of A. But essentially all you do here is if I had a bunch of Lightning built up in my wallet, let's say I was using Speed Wallet and I was doing a recurring buy every week, which I do, and my balance got up to, let's say, 150,000 sats, all I do is send it to this QR code here. Scan it, send, scan, and enter your on-chain address right here. So you can choose, and you can do the opposite too. If you wanted to start zapping, or if you wanted to be using some sats on Noster, you can actually move it from your layer 1 wallet, your cold storage, or just layer 1. You can move it onto Lightning for free with Bitcoin Well. So that's pretty, I haven't seen another platform that offers that before. So these guys are making some serious moves within the Bitcoin space. Big fan of Bitcoin Well. So again, bitcoinwell.com/Jor. If you use that link, you get to see a nice video of myself talking about Bitcoin Well. And you get 5 free tosses into the wishing well as well. So who doesn't want free sats? Man, Zapstream is buzzing today. My God. I can't even keep up. Laughpad says, I landed an interview for a second job this morning, addicted to making 100 days worth of work every day. It's Bitcoin that does it. It really is. And Laughpad says, if you think about it, working a second job for 1 year and saving 100% of it will be worth 100 years worth of earning at that wage, assuming Bitcoin does 100x. That's what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying. We have to be taking advantage of this time here in history. We have to be. But, don't overdo it as well. You got to enjoy yourself a little bit. Okay. What do we got here? Zane says, been going through a seasonal depression with my girlfriend leaving, but hitting the gym, boxing, and buying Bitcoin every day is temporary. Oh, man, that's such a good point, honestly. Zane, such a good point. If you're ever feeling down, feeling tired, feeling depressed, feeling stressed out, the best thing you can do is go to the gym. Just sweat. Honestly, it works 120% of the time. M. Vincent says, will states create SBRs before the U.S. or will it, or even if the U.S. doesn't? It sounds like it. It sounds like there's already 15 states who are who are buying Bitcoin. Jason says exactly what you're wearing right now. What's that for? What's that about? Did I miss something there? What am I wearing? Golf more? I can't wait to golf. Oh my God, I can't wait to golf. Couple months. Holy shit skis. BitBilly. BitBilly with a fat zap on Friday, that's for sure. BitBilly just zapped 50,000 sats. His second ever fat zap on Zapstream. He zapped the Amigos. I think it was 105,000 sats. Might have been more than that. It might have been 150,000 sats. Yeah, I think it was. And then he just zapped on right now on here. 50,000 sats. Wow. BitBilly, you are very, very, very generous, my friend. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know, I think. Thank you. What a day. What a great Fat Zap Friday today. Record people, record zaps. We got some good conversations today. We banned some people. Some of my favorite words start with an F. Me too, my friend. Owen says, I had to learn about UTXOs the hard way. Can you explain what I'm doing right now or what you're doing right now? Yes. Well, quickly, because I've been talking about this quite a bit. But basically what I do is I set up a recurring buy on Bitcoin Well here in Canada. It doesn't work quite as well in America. You have to pay a little bit more fees. But what I do here in Canada is I set up a recurring buy for like 20, 25 bucks a week, just to make sure I get Bitcoin. Because every time I get paid or if I get money, I convert into Bitcoin. But at least I have something steady that I don't even have to think about. So that $20 a week flows into my, what is it? Speed wallet, I think. Speed, Coinos, Wall of Satoshi, whatever it is. You need a Lightning address. So it flows into there. Once I get it, once it gets up to like 150, 200,000 sats, that's when I use Bitcoin Well, do a free swap. So I swap from Lightning to on-chain. So that whole process there, I pay 1.2% spread on the initial buy. But after that, I pay 0 fees to move it to my cold storage. So the alternative to that, if you're in America, you could go Bitcoin Well, Speed Wallet, let it build up, send it to Aqua, do a swap within Aqua. You'll have to probably pay 500 sats maybe for it. And then you can either hold it in Aqua or you can send it to your cold storage. Either one. You could actually let your balance build up within Aqua Wallet a little bit and then create one big UTXO to move to your cold storage. There's a lot of ways to do it. You just got to be conscious of the fees, the spread, and your UTXOs. Every time you're buying Bitcoin, you have to be conscious about those 3 things because you can get big time burned. Bob Ross's AK-47 says, Jor, how's the BitAxe been? I got one right here behind me. Where is it? Right there. Oh, did you guys? I haven't even showed you guys this picture yet. Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Arnie. This happened at Block 865. This is pretty cool. This is actually from the Bitcoin painter on Noster. So he took a picture of Arnie, gave him a little crown there, King Arnie, and sent it. Did that one for free, actually. So I probably should give him a shout out. Pretty badass. But anyways, BitAxe costing me money. Haven't won anything yet. So I wouldn't say it's been going good. But it's a solo miner. It's a very low odds. It's a lottery, basically. It's a lottery ticket. BitBilly's still reeling from that one. 50,000 sats. That's a big day. Big day for us here. Okay, I want to get a couple more pieces of news in here before we go. This is pretty cool. There's a couple. I've seen a couple of these in the last couple of days that are worth talking about. This one's from Pete Rizzo over on Noster. No, not Noster. Twitter. So it says someone just moved 1,300 Bitcoin worth 130 million, and they paid $1. They paid 1,540 sats to move 130 million dollars worth of Bitcoin. The real number there is 1,300 Bitcoin, but yeah, it's worth 130,000 illusionary dollars. So that's pretty cool. Pretty thing about Bitcoin that everybody, you got to know is that when you're sending a Bitcoin transaction, it does not matter how much Bitcoin you're sending. It could be 1 Bitcoin. It could be 1,300 Bitcoin. It could be 130,000 Bitcoin. The amount of Bitcoin does not matter. It's how many UTXOs you're sending. So in this case, this UTXO was probably, or this 1,300 Bitcoin was probably in 1 UTXO. And that's why it costs so cheap to send. So if that same 1,300 Bitcoin would have been 1 Bitcoin each UTXO, it would have cost 1,300 times the amount. So probably $1,300-ish, maybe $1,500. That's the difference there. That's why you have to pay attention to this stuff when you're buying Bitcoin. You have to be considering your UTXOs. It's a big part of it. It's a big part of it when you go to spend it. And you might just buy Bitcoin for the next 10 years and have no idea what you're doing, how much harm you're creating for yourself. And then when you go to send it or sell it, spend it or sell it, you're going to get absolutely hammered with fees. So something to keep in mind there for people. And the other thing I would say on that is like try moving $130 million worth of gold for $1. We don't really need to talk about this. I mean, yeah, we can. I guess we'll just talk about this quickly. If anybody's still holding any shares in the stock market, any index funds, look at this. Apple Q1 revenue, $124 billion. Pretty good, honestly, but their 2022 quarter one revenue was $123 billion. So they got 0.3% revenue growth over 3 years, and we've had about 15% inflation during that time. iPhone sales are negative year over year. And the sad thing is that many Americans, many Canadians are holding their life savings in a company like Apple, which is fine. I mean, 125 billion is no joke, but the problem is there, if you look at the PE ratio, which means if you buy 1 share of Apple, how long will it take to pay back? Let's see what it's worth right now. We looked at NVIDIA the other day, it was 50. The PE ratio is 50, which means that if you bought 1 share of NVIDIA, it would take you 50 years to essentially get 100% return on that. And just for comparison, Bitcoin's at less than 2. So if you bought 1 Bitcoin, it would take you a year and a half to get your full 100% payment back. So what is the PE ratio of Apple today? It is, oh, nice. Something went wrong. Maybe I just, what is the PE ratio of Apple today? Not working for me here. I don't know. It's probably stupid high anyways. That's the point. Sorry, kind of messed that one up. It won't let me, it says something went wrong. Please try again. That's the first time Perplexity has ever let me down. And of course it happened to be on a live show. 38 is their PE ratio. And probably that just means that there's way too many people holding it. They're just the premium is way too high on it. And there's premiums in Apple, there's premiums in Nvidia, there's premiums in Microsoft, all these big companies, because there was nowhere else to go. That's why the Magnificent Seven have been so successful, is because they're the only ones making money here. So everybody's trying to buy them, but they're just not making enough to keep up with the amount of people buying it. So you're paying such a huge premium on the Magnificent Seven. So if you get a chance to convert your shares into Bitcoin, take it every time. Okay, I think that's all I want to show today. Let's get back to where are we at here? Bendero's going to Topgolf on Sunday. Never been. Topgolf is awesome. I've had some great times at Topgolf before. It was only in Vegas. I think it started in Vegas. Pretty sure. I was at the one in Vegas about 10 years ago now. And it was wild. It was wild. There were six guys. It was on a divorce. What's like a bachelor party for a divorce? I don't know, reverse bachelor party. And it was wild. Guys were hitting balls off of pillows. I think we drove a mustard container off the ledge. Nobody fell, but like it was pretty close. Fun though. I'm sure they've tightened things up a little bit. I think it was a badminton racket. We were playing, or not badminton, ping pong. Fell off the top shelf there. Did I miss one here? Hold on. Parker says, what do you think about spreading your stack out in multiple single sig? Yes, it's a good idea. Oh, hold on. Chad says, what's your estimated cost of running the BitAx each month? I have no idea. Insignificant. Probably, I would guess $5 a month, maybe. Crypto Chris. Hey, so do you think maybe the price of Bitcoin is being held down around 100K until the strategic reserve is a sure thing or gets underway? I don't know if that's a reason for it, but yes, there's definitely some manipulation happening within Bitcoin right now, 100%. I don't know who's doing it or why they're doing it, but it seems to me like they're doing it. They're just trying to get everything that happens in life, everything is a distraction. Literally everything that happens that you see on your phone, that you see on the news, everything is a distraction to get people to focus their attention away from our monetary system being completely fucking obliterated. And the longer they can keep people distracted, the more time they have to accumulate Bitcoin. And then they know they're on the clock too. They know what's happening here. And that's why you see such a push, from a coordinated push to like spread FUD or to introduce new XRP or Trump coin or whatever. Everything's just a distraction. All right. Yeah, my Pat to Fire says they can't even move their gold right now. Too much paper gold. Yes. Okay, let's start wrapping things down here. Wow, what a show that was. I'm buzzing right now. I'm buzzing. So thanks everybody for showing up today. It is very, very much appreciated. The one thing I did want to say here today is hold on. Yeah, the one thing I did want to say today is I encourage people here. We're on day 31 today. Day 31 of 365 days of Bitcoin. And you can join that if you want to. I would suggest that everybody joins it, honestly. Whether you're a member of Living the Future, whether you're a journeyman, whether you're somebody who just watches the show, I would highly recommend people to check out the 365 days of Bitcoin. You're going to learn, even if you have like a decent understanding of Bitcoin, you're going to probably learn something within those 365 days, or even the first 31 days. That could be the difference between you having your Bitcoin in 20 years and not. That's the reality, because right now what we're doing is we're accumulating, and we're building our foundation. And you could buy as much Bitcoin as you wanted to, but if it's built on a shitty foundation, you're not going to have it in 20 years from now. So I want people to try it out. There's no 7-day free trial on that one or anything, because there's already 31 videos. They're about 10, 50 minutes long. You can watch them on like 1.25, 1.5 speed. You can get caught up with some 2-a-days. But the point is, even if you don't do it day by day, you're going to have 365 videos about Bitcoin. And regardless of what question you have or what's going on in your own setup, you're going to learn something there, 100%. So at the end of 365 days, I'm actually going to like do a call with everybody who's going through that and do like a little quiz or a little test. And if they pass, they're going to get a little certificate for passing the 365 days of Bitcoin. I think that this is going to be, again, it might be worth toilet paper in 5 years from now, but it might be worth something much more. Who knows? But you go through that, you're going to have a pretty good understanding of Bitcoin, and you want to have a pretty good understanding of Bitcoin if this is where your life's wealth, work, time, energy is being stored in. You want to make sure that there's no holes in your setup, that you're not leaving any sort of crumbs behind in your setup. You don't want to have any potential attack vectors in your setup because you're holding the best asset that has ever existed before. And so it's important to have a very good understanding of that. And we're on day 31 right now. And again, I guarantee if you went through the first 31 videos we've done so far, you're gonna learn a couple things. And whether you implement it today or next week, it could be the difference between you having your Bitcoin in 20 years from now and not. So what's that worth to you? What is that worth to you? So check it out. You can, and the other thing I'm going to be doing in the next week is actually creating a group chat for everybody who's going through that course, where you can converse back and forth. You can ask questions in a group chat where everybody's kind of at the same level, going through at the same pace, which to me might be just as beneficial as actually watching the videos. So consider joining. The link is below. I think it's actually says 365 days now, but you can join there. And I highly encourage people to do it if you're serious about this stuff. And I know that there's a lot of people who are serious about this stuff. So that's it for today. I want to say a big thanks to everybody for the zaps. We had a record day today. So I'm going to be buzzing all day thanks to you guys and girls. So thanks once again for showing up. Look at this. This is a real life testimonial here. Cleaner Machine says 365 is the best thing I've done for myself in decades. It's at my pace and I can watch whenever I need to. Thanks, Jor and the community. Wow. That's what you want. That's what you want to end the show. So think about it. Consider it. You've already saved yourself. It's $21 a month, by the way. When I first got into Bitcoin, I was trying to learn some stuff to make sure I knew what I was doing, make sure I wasn't going to lose any money or do anything stupid. And I paid $500 US for access to watch some videos that were just kind of like a half hour, an hour, hour and a half. Lots of bullshit there. Didn't get to talk to the guy. Didn't get to ask him any sort of questions. So with this, you get a video every single day. You can do it at your own pace. It's about 365 different topics within Bitcoin. Everything. Thought experiments, lessons I've learned, stories. I did a really good analogy yesterday about Bitcoin mining and how I think about it. And you go through the whole course for a year, and it's about, what would that be? 21 times 12, 200 bucks at this point. So if that's worth it to you, then consider joining. If it's not, then that's, I did all I could there. So have yourselves an amazing day, everybody. If you're looking to join again, you can find all the information in the show notes. And I heard Arnie get up here. So have yourselves a great day. Thank you once again for all the zaps and the support, the super chats. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Maybe Arnie will show up here for the last. Yeah, you know what? Just before I said goodbye, that's who it was. That's who I paid $500 for. But it helped. Don't get me wrong. It helped. It gave me a solid foundation to understand what I was doing there. Did I overpay? Yes. But I mean, I still did it. And I wouldn't say I regret it, but yeah. So Letha says, see you at 4. Unfortunately, we won't see you at 4 today. There's going to be no, there's Arnie. There's going to be no Bitcoin Amigos show today, unfortunately. So we're working through a few things here. I'll keep people posted on that when I have some more news. But unfortunately, there's going to be no Bitcoin Amigo stream today. So kind of sad, but at the same time, that's life. So we'll see you on Monday, Letha. Thank you for the zaps, and have a good weekend. Say bye, Arn. Look at him. All right. We'll see you Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.